Hello and good morning and welcome everyone to the first video of this series on Asterix as the Gladiator in Luxembourgish language. This particular series here will be the one where we explain the vocabulary as well as the sentence structures. It is obviously very important for people to listen to this at least once, but then even more important are the listen and repeat videos that will be based on the same material. I'm explaining the material here, and it will be your job to go to the listening and repeat material afterwards. So let's dive right in. First of all, please drop me a like. That doesn't cost you anything, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet, and share this work with whoever you believe might benefit from it. And please, if you wish to support my work, you can make a donation via the Buy My Coffee QR code that you see on your screen right here. So first word is Lara. So we've already studied that word in previous videos, and it had somewhat of a different meaning. In here, Lara means camp, as you can see from the translation here at the bottom. But Lara might also mean the warehouse. Then Dek, fat. So Obelix, he's famous for always saying, Je ne suis pas gros, I'm not fat. In Luxembourgish, that would be, Ich bin nicht dick. Op bezoek kommen. So the word bezoek means visit. Kommen, like in English, to come. Op bezoek, actually, just like English, coming on visit. The word op means on. So the first sentence that we're taking from, directly from the comic book is, De prefect als Lara op bezoek kom. So the prefect, that's the translation I found for in English. I'm not sure this is used in the English speaking world. It is some form of government official. It was a certain level in or certain authority in government in the Roman system back in the days. So the prefect is in the camp or at the camp on visit. So he came to the camp on visit. De prefect als Lara op bezoek kom. Fum mir. The word mir means the sea. Fum means from. So you have, from to. So let's say the boat came from the sea, obviously. All right. But we could say, for example, de wind as fum mir kom. The wind came from the sea. Fum mir. Ganz no by. So the word no means close. By means by. Ganz no by, very close by. Ganz no by. So this sentence came in the description of the situation at the Roman camp. So that's the Petit Bonum camp. And it is close from the sea. So one would say, mir as ganz no by. The sea is very close by. Mir as ganz no by. Ein Halt machen. Halt means to stop or to halt. It's also a word in English, if I'm not mistaken. So to make a stop, which means basically to stop for a rest or for, maintenance, whatever. It's not like stop as in absence of movement, but rather during a journey, there is a break for whatever purpose, and then the journey continues. Ein Halt machen. So we have the sentence from the book, Galère het een halt gemaakt. Galère, that's the galley, this type of ship. Het has a halt gemaakt done. So we see that the sentence structure differs from the English and the Luxembourgish, but this is what it means. Galère het een halt gemaakt. So the word spak, it's in the book, as you shall see, but I have not found any meaning to it. So maybe it was a specific type of spear that the Romans used to use. You understand from the context of the book, as you shall see later on, that what is meant is a type of spear, but the details I'm not sure. So spak in our context definitely means a spear, but what's more to it, I'm not sure. Ang eya, an honor. Eya, honor. Ang, the indefinite pronoun. Dato, this, or actually that. That high would be this. That's actually a mistake on my behalf. That high, this, that when you talk about this, you're pointing at something close by. Whereas that do, that thing over there, you would say that, not this. That do. That do is too good. So that do, that, this too, you say good, well. In English, we would say you can say that again. In other words, like what you've said right here is on point. That do is too good. So the sentence in the book was, when the prefect arrives at the camp, the centurion says, Ave prefect, het as een groot eer voor mich, die bezoek te krijgen. So Ave, which was the Roman greeting, prefect, het as een groot eer. It is a big honor. Groß, big, eer, honor. Für mich, for me, die bezoek te krijgen. Die bezoek, your visit, to receive. Once again, it's a different sentence structure. To receive your visit. It's a great honor for me to receive your visit. So krijgen is to receive. So the prefect responds, Ave centurio. That does is too good. So response to the greeting, Ave centurio. Centurio being an officer of a certain rank in the Roman army. That does is too good. You can say that again. You can say again that it's an honor for you to receive me, you know. Not the most humble guy you can think of. Anyway. Ursache. So the word Zach means a thing. Engzach. This watch. Engzach. It's a thing. Ur, the prefix ur, it means pre, or in a certain context, great. Like for example, great grandfather. Urgroßpap. So it's the idea of something that has preceded. So Ursache, the thing that has preceded the thing. In other words, the cause of the thing. Ursache is a cause. So the prefect is saying to the centurio, Centurio, hij as Ursache voor mijn bezoek. Here is the cause, or the reason, we would say, for my visit. My congé. My, normally written with an N, my, congé, vacation or leave, time off work. Rome, which is Rome. So the prefect says, Ich ging für my congé op Rome. So as some of you might know, here we have an N missing, because the comic is written in a very colloquial and say common language rather than very clean language. They actually changed some words in order to make them less refined and less correct, actually, but a bit more, how to say, low level, low educated in a way. So there is some mumbling and some fumbling and some syllable swallowing, etc. So this is one of them cases. Okay. So ich gehe für my congé. I'm going for my vacation op Rome, to Rome. So when we say to somewhere in English, in Luxembourgish we say on somewhere. We don't say to Rome, we say on Rome. I'm going on Rome. Just different, what's it called? Forgot the type of work. Not a prefix, not an article either. Can't think of it. Anyway, you got the point. So I'm going to Rome or I'm going for my holiday to Rome. So then we have Rema, Romans, Rema. Het as de brauch. The word brauch originally means to need something, if you use it as a verb. So for example, I don't know, ich brauch ein hour. I need a watch. But de brauch, the noun, it means the custom. Het as de brauch, it is from the custom. Mat huelen. So this is a word that's made up of two words. Or one of them is huelen, to take something. Huel den hour, take your watch. Mat, with. So mat huelen means take with you. Take it along with you. Bring it with you. So the prefect is saying, en dan as het de brauch, dat ich dem Caesar e schöne cadeau mat huelen. So it is the custom that I take for Caesar a nice gift. That I bring with me for Caesar a nice gift. Once again, you see that the sentence structure is different. However, these kind of sentences, is important that you get your ear used to it. And as I'm always insisting on, repeat them. You will see that the simple fact that you re-listen to this lecture, or even later on to the book read out, and that you repeat it, you'll see that slowly, your mind will work itself around these kind of sentence structures, and it will start becoming more natural for you. Apus. Apus means just something. We have zach, which is a thing. Apus, something. Apus wert as, which means that is worth something. Wert means worth, value. That is of value. We would translate it absolutely literally. So prefect is saying een originale cadeau, an original gift, aan een den apes wert as, and one that is worth something. Een originale cadeau aan een den apes wert as. Ich had willes. This is a very common expression in Luxembourgish, which means I had the intention to do something. So here it's in the past, but we could use it also in the present. Ich hu willes. Ich had willes, past. Ich hu willes, present. But it means the same thing. It means my intention is to do such. I want to do such. So we have also a very common word, vielleicht. And then we have the mumbled version, vielleicht, which means maybe. We have yes, no, and in between we have maybe, vielleicht. Marba, which means marble, the kind of rock material, specific one. And then we have agenda. So this is not the agenda as in the plan or the agenda of the meeting, but rather a personal organizer. And in French is the same word, agenda. All right, that doesn't really exist today anymore because it has been replaced by smartphones. Here, I still got mine from 30 years ago, right? And it did exactly the same work as smartphones. The elder amongst you might know this, and the youngsters might not. So here you have your address book, you have your notes, you have all kinds of things. Your schedule, your calendar. It used to be all in this. Anyway, that's a personal organizer. So, a marba agenda, a personal organizer made out of marble. That doesn't, of course, exist, right? This is just for the humor of the comic book. So I made this image with ChatGPT. So you have marble and supposedly in shape of a personal organizer, just to illustrate the meaning. A marba agenda. Then the word banal. Banal means mundane, something not exceptional. Like this watch here, there's not much to it. Okay, like this car here, it's a basic car. This is a basic pen. This is the basic Nokia phone. Nothing fancy, banal. So, prefect is saying, "Ich had novel villas." So the word novel, we're just gonna leave that out. That's just a filler. It really has no meaning. Ich had villas. I had the intention. Him appes fulutetia matzuhuelen. To bring him something from Lutetia. Lutetia, I mean, I translated it with Google Google Translations, and it gave me this word here, lutes, same as in French. I'm not sure if that's correct. It used to be a city in what I believe is central France, or might it have it actually be further south towards Switzerland? I'm not sure. But I don't think it still exists today, at least not with this name. So I had the intention to bring him something from Lutetia. Vielleicht ein marble agenda. Maybe a marble personal organizer. Or personal organizer made out of marble. As we said, this is, for the humor. It does not really exist. And then he goes on saying, "Een aan die hier al rendezvous meeselen kan." One in which he can chisel all his appointments. As you will most likely know, back in the days, paper was extremely rare. Maybe even in the Romans days, I don't know if they even had any paper. So a lot of writings were actually chiseled with a hammer and with a chisel into rock or maybe marble. So the joke is that, it's a marble personal organizer. So you have your calendar in your organizer. So you chisel your appointments into the marble organizer. Een aan die hier al rendezvous meeselen kan. One in which he can chisel all his appointments. Aber dat is banal. But that is mundane. That's, something not so exceptional. So here we see the word over. It should be ava. Over is kind of like a Luxembourgish accent. I believe it's from the north. I'm not 100% sure. I'm from the south, but I grew up in the city, in Luxembourg City. So I'm really just familiar with the city kind of accent. Yeah, it's hard to believe, but yes, in this tiny country of Luxembourg, you have different accents and even dialects. I remember going to the north of Luxembourg when I was young a few times, and I could not understand some of the things they were saying. So, un génial idée. So the word idée is idea, but we also say idée, not just idée. Génial, genius. Un génial idée, a genius idea. Verbrüht, unruly, rebellious, troublemaker. That's the word verbrüht. It's a word that's often used to describe difficult children. Then we have Gallia, the Gallic, which are the people of, I believe, specifically a part of northern France, not all of France. But that is to be verified. So these are the famous characters from the comic book. Then the word Gegend, very common word, which means the region. However, in Luxembourgish, we also use it to say the surroundings. For example, one could ask, as hij a cafe on the Gegend? Is there a cafe here in the surroundings? So we don't mean the region, like the whole bunch of towns and villages of a specific region, but rather just where we are here, distance walking on the Gegend, close by. So the story goes on. So the prefect is talking about his genius idea, or like what he wants to do for Caesar. Andun had euch ein genial idee. Andun and then had euch, I had, is also inverse to English. Ein genial idee, a genius idea. And then I had a genius idea. Dem Caesar von den verbrühte Gallier aus dieser Gegend mat zu holen. Dem Caesar So once again, here we have a completely different sentence structure, but it's important that you get used to this. For Caesar, one of these unruly galleons from this region to bring. In English, we would say to bring for Caesar one of these unruly galleons. In Luxembourgish, we say for Caesar one of these unruly galleons to bring. Dem Caesar een van dene verbrote Gallier aus dieser Gegend mitzuholen. So if you don't get it from the beginning, don't worry. That's why we're doing this. You need some practice. You need to hear it a few times, and there's going to be more sentences like this, and with time, you'll get it. So don't feel overwhelmed by this right now. This is a complicated sentence. So, Fehler, which means a fault or a vice, a defect. Fehler. Wat für een? Which one? Wat für een? So the centurio, he goes on responding to the prefect and say, "Mais prefect, die verbrote Gallier hun e große Fehler." But prefect, these unruly galleons have a big fault, a big vice. Die verbrote Gallier hun e große Fehler. Prefect, very blasé, answers, "Aha, wat für een? Which one?" So, verschaff mir een von denen. All right, once again, this is a bit complicated. Verschaff means to obtain, get me. Een von denen. So get me one of those. Drunner. So drunner, it means beneath, but it's also used as among. As we see in the next sentence, het as een drunner. There is one among them. There is one in the lot. Schro, which means bad. Dat as e schroen. This is a bad one, e schroen. And then comparatively, den as manna schro. This one is less bad. It's still bad, but not as bad as this one. So here we see, so the first one, oh, sorry, one sec. Schroen, that as is schroen. Here the verb is, oh, no, sorry, the adjective is kind of like adapted to the way this sentence is spoken. I'm not going to go into details of this. I just want you to kind of take it in as it is. And then, hin as manna schro, he is less bad. So then we have the word away. Away means like. But as you can see here, I have made the not like sign, and I shall tell you why. Away the ana, they are not the others. So like the others, but we can also use it as than the others. So you use it to compare, make a difference. So the sentence goes, het as een drunner, there is one among them, den a busse manna schro as. That is a busse manna, a little bit less. A bussen, a little bit, manna, less. Schro, that is a little bit less bad than the other. So we see there is a comparative here. It's not a liking, rather it's a comparing. We're making a contrast between the two. So again, het as een drunner, den a busse manna schro as a vediana. So we have the word ducks, which means often, but we also use the word oft, not often, oft in Luxembourgish. So for example, I can say, ich kin ducks velo fuhren. I'm going cycling, I'm often going cycling, or ich kin oft velo fuhren. Different word, 100% same meaning and used in the same way. Trippelen, strolling. Trippelen. So, the centurion is saying, den diesta zanger tut batik. So, Once again, a bit complicated. Dichter means poet. Zanger means singer. Tutebatiks. So in Asterix, the names of the characters, as some of you might know, are derived from different words. So Asterix, it's that, it's that little star kind of thing that you use to make a reference from top page to bottom page or whatnot. Obelix is from obese, and it became Obelix, right, etc. So here you have a bit of a wordplay. You have the word without the X in Luxembourgish, tutebati. So that's not the original name in French of this character, okay? They have adapted it in Luxembourgish. So tutebati in Luxembourgish is an old insult. It's an insult you use for somebody who's kind of like, has a bit of a jolly, clumsy, clownish personality. He's always getting himself in strange situations and he's always kind of acting out of line. That's in tutebati. So tutebatiks is derived from that particular word. So the centurion is saying, den Dichtersänger tutebatiks, the poet singer tutebatiks, that one, geht ducks on the bush, goes often to the forest, truppelen, strolling. He goes strolling. So we see that the verb truppelen, which we had just seen here, is normally used in conjunction with goen, to go. You go for a stroll, you go for a walk. So, die geht ducks on the bush truppelen, vier neue Ideen zu finden. Vier in order to. Neue Ideen, new ideas, zu finden, to find. So again, die geht ducks on the bush truppelen, vier neue Ideen zu finden. He often goes to the forest strolling in order to find new ideas. So here we have the girl in the supermarket that saw a little toy in the soap box. Dat muss ich krijgen. I have to get this. Krijgen means to receive, to get. I have to or I must have that. Dat muss ich krijgen. Als and quickly. So the prefect is saying, den Dichtersänger muss ich krijgen. The singer-poet, I must have him. Als and quickly. That was it for this first episode. I hope this was somewhat clear. As I said, this is not an easy kind of content. You're going to have to listen to this more than once and give yourself time. Don't give up. Don't be overwhelmed by this. This is part of learning a language. Sometimes you have to shock your mind a bit. Just like in sports, you sometimes have to shock your body in order for it to progress. So make sure that you do the listening and repeat exercises, and I shall see you for the next episode.